cocktails. Live from the iconic Scottsdale landmark, Hotel Valley Ho. So sit back and shake up your favorite cocktail. It's The Craft. Here's Robert.
The Craft, the art of business, relationships, and cocktails. And I'm here today at Hotel Valley Ho, located in Scottsdale, Arizona. And for all of those that are suffering through the snow, the East Coast and Midwest, I have to tell you, we are having one of our primo days, just as we have our primo guest here today, Jason Stancil. Jason has a voice like no other, and I can't wait to hear it. And those that are listening are going to, you might be turned on by his content, you might be turned on by his voice, because he definitely has that voice. But anyway, we're here at Wednesday's Hotel Valley Ho, located in Scottsdale, shooting the Craft Podcast. And Jason, say hello to the Craft audience.
Hey, Robert, thank you for having me, and thank you all for putting up with me in the lobby.
Well, hey, you know what? Yeah, put up with somebody. You at least, one of those people that come through and you just make it right. You made your entrance like you usually do.
I appreciate that.
Well, hey, we're here today to talk about some exciting things that are happening with you, and I know you're part of the community, but I know that we all go through shifts in our lives, right, and that type of thing. And here comes your cocktail, and I guess there are two cocktails, and maybe one's for.
Wow.
Hey, Chris, you're taking that one out. There you go. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to. I've got a long night ahead. So anyway, but so we're here at Hotel Valley Ho, and I'm excited. I hear some exciting things going on with you. Am I right?
Yeah, man. I really appreciate the invite. So,
Yes.
yeah, I have a company.
Tell me about
Started
it.
in June.
Yeah.
So, kind of the accidental entrepreneur story, right?
Okay. All right.
Been working in the construction industry over the last couple of years.
Right.
I'm not a GC, okay? So, I don't know much about
What's a
hammer
GC?
nails,
I
general
don't-
contract.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, right. I'm
Okay.
barely learning what it is. So
Okay.
how I own a construction company is beyond me at this point. So good news is my best friend is also my business partner. He owns 50% of the company, and he's the GC. He's the guy that
So
can
you
do
found
all
a
of that.
GC.
I found a great one.
Oh, is that
So,
right?
and we've
Okay.
got some great guys that are working for us. But here's the story, okay? Working for a company for the last couple of years, okay?
Right.
And never transitioned into the construction industry before. So
Right.
in each industry, the players in that industry are always very interesting. And I come from asset disposition, auctions and bankers and lawyers and people like that.
Right.
So usually contractually, those people tend to honor their words.
Right.
But I come into this company and I make them a deal like every businessman does. And I
Right.
say, I'll give you 6 months. You'll give me 50 grand. And at the end of that 6 months, if I bring you what you want, because he wanted a specific client, and now I know why, and we'll get to that later in the story, then you'll sign the deal that is rightfully the deal that somebody like me should have.
Right.
He says, great, not a problem, I'll put it in writing. Day comes, I sign the client in month 5,
Right.
and we go to sit down, and the deal never comes. In fact, my entire
Don't
department
tell me that.
gets eliminated.
Sounds like, wow.
Right. So now, the night before, true story, we're about to go to a conference in Virginia, the whole company.
Right.
And flight's supposed to leave at 4 in the morning. Okay. I get a text at midnight. This is the night before. And this is on Valentine's Day, by the way. Saying, don't pack your bags. You don't need to worry about coming. We'll give you a phone call tomorrow. Phone call comes the next day at 1 o'clock, and it was a quick, I'm sorry, we've eliminated business development. But thank you for that client. Hangs up. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling some kind of way about this now, right?
Right.
And my best friend, who's my business partner, Tim,
Right.
is still in this company. We were both in the same company. He was the operations director.
Okay.
Okay? So now what he does, because they're servicing this client,
Okay.
he spends the next 3 months learning everything he needs to learn, systems, all of it, on this client.
Is that right?
That's right. Well, this particular gentleman that I work for, people are starting to figure it out, right? People are starting to figure out this guy's not quite what he says he is, and he's not going to do what he says he's going to do. So the client's
You
going
know
to
people like that.
I do. I know.
I don't know anybody
In
else that knows
Scottsdale,
people
it's
like that.
hard.
Is that right?
So many nice people.
That's like finding,
a needle in a haystack.
exactly.
Right.
Ugly woman in Scottsdale.
Oh, of
You
course.
found it.
I did. I
Yeah,
found the
you're a
one
special
ugly
kid.
woman in Scottsdale.
Exactly.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
such-
no, it's not my life. No, it's all good. But he does this. He goes to the client, and my friend is getting pretty upset. Like, we're feeling some kind of way.
Right.
And one day he decides to spout off, okay, and says, I'm about to quit, and I'm going to work for you. I'm going to start my own company. Will you give me business? This is with the client, okay? And we can't mention the client. If you drink a lot of coffee, I'm sure you've been there.
Right.
But that's what we can say.
Right.
Well, lo and behold, we fast forward 6 months. We end up starting the company. It takes us 6 months to onboard with the client.
Right.
Tens of thousands of dollars, right? Not even knowing if this guy's going to follow through, the client.
Exactly.
And they do. And we end up getting to work for them in October, just this October. And things have just taken off. So no intention of doing this. Was very happy just being the VP of Business Development for somebody else.
Right.
But now that I'm on the other side of it, it's insane what type of margins there are, first of all.
Right.
And the amount of business, and it's in an area that nobody would even know exists. We go in and we decommission things that you wouldn't know were even there. I didn't even know this section of business existed in the world, and now we're knee deep in it, and it's fantastic.
You know, I can tell you. I've seen your passion before, but I got to tell you, you're really passionate right now about what you're doing. You're just like, okay,
I'm on fire. I'm having the best time of my life, and it's finally really lucrative. So, Stancil Construction, Construction LLC.
All right.
And so, my best friend's name is Tim.
Okay.
My name is Jason.
Oh,
my wife one day, so we had to file and form this company like immediately. So we're just grasping at straws. Like find a logo. Okay, great, that looks good.
Right.
Anybody got an idea for a name? My wife's like, how about Timson? I'm like, great. Is it taken? No. Let's register that. I mean, we really threw this.
Think about what you're listening to. Those folks that want to start a business and they're just sitting there on the couch going like, what? How long is it going to take me to form an LLC, get a name, do this, that, the other, and so on and so forth? I just want to make sure I crystallize that because that's really important for people to know. When you have that motivation and passion and that drive, you go get it. Am I right?
Go get it. And that's what we did. We were so just mad. Okay.
Right,
just
right.
basically angry is what it is. This is all fueled out of anger. Still am. I mean, I'm still angry. But
like I am about my ex-girlfriend.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly the feeling. My ex-wife. They're all the same.
Yeah,
right?
same. Anger is anger.
Yeah, anger is anger. But we just drove hard. We didn't have the money. So first of all, no money.
Right.
And we didn't realize how much it was going to take, how much time it was going to take. But
Right.
from the time we registered it, 6 months later, we were invoicing in 6 figures. So pretty incredible, I think.
That is an incredible story.
Yeah.
From a man with incredible voice. I'm telling you, wow. It's just feeling and sensing your passion about this whole company, this concept. You took something that could have been very, but most people, it's like, hey, I just give up. I'm done.
And I was close to that. And I got to say, if it wasn't for my partner
A
pushing
little bit of
me,
scotch, too.
and a little bit of something,
Something,
I was throwing my hands up going, I'm out. I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
Whatever. And this is accidentally where we ended up. And it turns out we're actually pretty damn good at it.
Is that right?
And it's a blast. I mean, an absolute lot of fun. But I don't think I'd have started a business.
Right.
I know I wouldn't, unless there was a catalyst like this that pushed me into something like this. And I think that's what people have to grasp at, is the emotion.
Exactly. It's how we get married. You know, it's like you just make that choice and you got to go. Once you say yes, you're done. You can't go back.
No.
Hey, give me the ring back.
Yeah.
No, I'm out very well. Exactly. You don't get to change your mind. We're here at Hotel Valley Home. Robert Van Arlen, host of the podcast called The Craft, the art of business, relationships, and cocktails. And we just drove through business like nobody's business, I got to tell you. And it is Christmas time here. It's going to be a lot of events happening. We've got the Christmas tree here up at Hotel Valley Ho. We'll make sure we get a picture of that up on our podcast website because it's going to be festive here over the next 3 to 4 weeks. And, of course, we have the best weather in the entire country here.
Incredible. Right? Absolutely incredible. All of Scottsdale actually is going to be lit up. It's gorgeous out here. All the way through Fashion Square, Scottsdale Dazzle, all that jazz. It looks really cool.
All the single women. You're looking for all the single women.
All the single ladies, they're here too.
Looking for men, you can do that right here at Hotel Valley.
A lot of men here too.
Yeah, a lot of men here too. I don't want to just say it's a lot of women. It's a lot of men here too. Yeah. And they're good guys like us. Anyway, so I love Jason. You always motivate me and you inspire me. We're going to drive. This is going to be one of those. We're just going to hit it, right? Relationships, because you just talked about your partner Tim. How did you meet Tim?
So high school, actually.
Is that right?
We were in a car show together sophomore year. I had a '67 El Camino, and he had a tricked out Ford.
Are you that old?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. But it was my father's dream car. We built it together.
You took your father's car.
Well, we built it together.
You took your father's
I took it and ran it in the ground. Exactly. So, 67 El Camino when you're going to college and driving back and forth from Phoenix to ASU doesn't work.
Is that right?
It blows up pretty quick. But yeah, I met Tim in high school. We never really connected. We knew of each other sophomore years. I went through school kind of with him, but ran in separate circles, right?
Right.
But then after high school, I used to work at a bowling alley all the way up through my early 20s.
Is that right?
And I would host rockin' bowls on Friday night.
You
right?
you had that voice in.
It was a lot of, that's what I learned.
Exactly.
Microphones and bowling alleys. I made all the announcements. That was me, and I loved it. From the time I was 15, man.
Not on the
Lane 27, clean up on Lane 27. Yeah, exactly. That's how it was, man.
Okay.
He came up to the bowling alley one night, and we would we'd close the bowling alley down at 1 o'clock when it was supposed to close, and then about 100 people, our friends and stuff, would hang out, and we'd turn back on the lights and help ourselves, and we just would have these parties on Friday night, right? And it worked out really well for a couple of years till we got caught. But he would come, and then we just hit it off. I mean, I just knew he was a genuine good person who would do what he says he's going to do.
Right.
That's the rarest thing. So now he's 45. He still does what he says he's going to do, and he's one of the few people on earth who trust and works.
That's amazing.
That's how it works.
And
it's relationships.
It's all relationships, exactly. And when they do work, they work very well.
Absolutely.
I have to tell you that it's a real exciting story to hear. And so where do you go from here? What's next?
So what's next is we travel around the country.
Right.
This contract that we have allows us to travel around and do these jobs. But we also have a residential division that ended up just taking off as well within the last 2 weeks.
Right.
So we've got 5 remodels in the Biltmore area. We're doing full remodels on those.
Right.
And then we just picked up a popular sub-chain that is now about to remodel all of their stores. So we're starting in Surprise with a few stores, and then we're going to try to work our way across the country with that.
Right.
So right now it's hair on fire and just kind of trying to hold on to what we have, get really good at it.
Right.
We're actively not working with the general public right now. It's more commercial space.
Right.
We will take on the general public if it comes from a referral or somebody we know.
Yeah.
Like we are doing one for the general public now, one lady in particular, but she came from one of our commercial sources. So, but this is sky's the limit, really.
You are just enjoying life.
It's a blast.
You're employing a lot of people? What are you doing?
Right now we've got 4 that we just brought on.
Yeah,
so
4 people. You got employees already?
we need to start getting up to about 30 is what the goal is.
Is that right?
And I don't know how long that's going to take. We're not going to take on anything else right now. So we're going to hope to go till about June. So one fiscal year, kind of evaluate where we are from there, and then decide what subsections we want to stay in. And if there's
so you got to be able to hammer and a nail, right?
Yeah,
so
I don't know how to do that. Our guys are fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
What is it that you're doing?
Exactly what we do is this. So we'll go into a coffee shop that is now closed down.
Right.
Okay.
You repurpose it?
They're repurposing it. They make it what's called a gray shell. So we'll go in and take any semblance of what that place was out of there.
Where you're going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a great client to work for because they have a lot of stores.
Yes.
So we'll go in, and by the time we leave, it takes about 4 days.
Right.
Okay. We're working 24/7 on it for 4 days.
Right.
And then we're in and we're out, and you wouldn't even know that particular company was ever there.
It gets to a point where they can rent that space out.
Exactly. Then it goes to another company.
Right.
That's exactly what we do, and we want to do that for multiple of these companies in that space because they all do it. They're all moving.
I got to ask you, but you have to keep the little pieces that are floating around in there too?
They don't want you to keep that. It all has to be disposed of.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, the Starbucks sign in my garage, I bought that at a yard sale.
Okay, I've got one in my bedroom. Wow, that's incredible, big guy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun, and we've got a lot of opportunity. It's a lot of work, and there's still a lot to learn because this is an industry change for me in my 40s, right? Did not plan on doing that.
Your age all the time.
Yeah,
you come
when you get to be a certain place, it's like whatever.
I'm 40, I'm young, I'm making it.
I'm old, whatever. I like that.
You're very young in my book. So relationships. We want to just continue about that because this is a season where relationships go to a whole nother level.
Yeah, totally.
Good and bad,
right?
But they go to a whole nother level.
Right.
What are you going to do this holiday season coming Christmas? What is going to make this like Christmas 2024
Okay, well I got that plan. So
see,
I like that.
I just
knew,
right?
Right?
It just came out, right?
This year, I'm going to surprise the family because it's been the last couple of years.
It's not going to be surprised because you're on podcast now.
Well, yeah, no, my kids don't listen to anything except TikTok, so if it's not on TikTok, don't worry about it.
All right, I'm going to be dancing, so go ahead.
I'm going to get a cabin up north, which we already got.
Okay.
It's a gorgeous cabin. It's got the pool table, it's got the spa, it's got the hot tub, it's got all that jazz in it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to surprise the family, and we're going to go over Christmas and spend it up at the cabin. I think it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be. Hopefully, there'll be some snow up there.
Hopefully, there'll be a lot.
You're white.
All
You
the
ski?
fine. No, I do not. I went snowboarding one time.
Okay.
And
you're not white.
fell off the snowboard onto the
Okay.
side of the hill and just kind of laid there for 5 hours. That was my entire trip.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't do snow. I don't do cold and wet and all that jazz.
Oh,
The
okay.
kids seem to like it. So I'll be inside with a what are one of these, whatever that is. That's delicious.
That's pretty good. Hey, Chris, can you do me a favor? Can you grab my jacket? There's something in the pocket I want to just pull out real quick.